Hi, boys and girls. We are on chapter 8 of Chocolate Fever. Okay, chapter 8 is called Mac. And if you remember, Henry had just ran away. Chapter 8, Mac. The truck thumped and rumbled along the superhighway, its powerful headlights cutting a yellow slice through the blackness. Are you all right up there, kid? The driver called. From the sleeping bunk high up in the cab of the big diesel, Henry answered, Right, Mac, I'm okay. Okay, Henry thought bitterly. Sure, I'm okay. I don't have a friend in the world. I look like some sort of sideshow freak. The police and doctors and my folks and heaven knows who else is after me, and I don't even know where I'm going. If that's okay, then I guess I'm okay. He'd stood out on the highway for a long time and watched the day turn into dark. Hundreds of cars and trucks had swept by without stopping, but Mac had stopped and offered him a lift. Boys and girls, it's not safe to take a ride from a stranger. Remember, this is just a book. That was hours ago, and they had come a long way. Henry didn't know how many miles they had traveled or where they were heading, and what's more, he didn't care. He was sure that Mac had not seen his spots. It had probably been too dark to notice them. No one in his right mind would have anything to do with me, Henry thought, not once they got a good look at these big, stupid brown spots. Even Mac, as nice as he seemed, wouldn't have taken a chance if he had seen me clearly. Hop in, Mac had said. The weather's fine. A big grin across his smiling face. He was a huge black man dressed in dirty coveralls. His truck was clean and warm, and Henry didn't hesitate. After sitting alongside Mac for an hour or so in the front seat, Henry had climbed up to the bunk and fallen asleep. He hadn't known how long he had slept, but he felt rested now. Mac turned the big truck off the highway and onto a service road. Slowly, he shifted down through the gears, braking gently, and brought the huge trailer to a stop. Hey, kid, he called. Come on down here. Henry climbed down to sit beside Mac. Look at them sitting next to each other in the front of the big truck. Supper time, Mac said. Now, just as soon as I get the lights on. I like the dark, Henry said quickly. You what? I like the dark, Henry said as the lights came on. Henry blinked through at the sudden brightness. He's seen me now, he thought. Mac reached down below his seat and brought up a big picnic basket. He placed it between them on the seat. Now let's see what that woman gave us here for supper, he said. I'm all right, Henry said. I'll just get off here. Huh? I won't make any fuss, Henry said. I'll just go quietly. You are a strange one, kid, Mac said. Now what are you talking about? Well, you must see these big brown spots all over me by now. Mac nodded. Yeah, I see them. He began looking through his picnic basket. Do you like ham and cheese? I'm willing to go, Henry began. Maybe chicken spread? We've got chicken spread too, and I do believe, yes, by heavens, tuna fish. I mean, Henry began again, if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I'll understand. I really will. What'll it be, Mac said. Tuna, chicken spread, or ham and cheese? He was looking squarely into Henry's face, smiling ever so slightly. Tuna, Henry said after a moment, taking the sandwich Mac handed him. Glory be, we eat it last, Mac said. Henry gobbled the tuna sandwich in nothing flat, and then went on to dispose of a ham and cheese, an apple, a piece of raisin cake, and half a thermos of milk. There was chocolate cake, too, but Henry declined it. Somehow, it just didn't appeal to him. When they were finished eating, Mac settled in back and lit a cigar. Mac, Henry said, isn't there something you want to ask me? Sure, but I figure if you're about to tell me about whatever it is I want to know anyway. Well, Henry began, I have this disease called chocolate fever. That's what these big brown spots all over me are. Chocolate. And nobody, especially a doctor named Fargo, knows what to do about it. So I'll probably have these spots on me for the rest of my life, and that's why you're running away, Mac said. I have to run away, Henry said. I look so terrible and ugly. I wouldn't say ugly, Mac said. Unique, maybe. What's that? Sort of special. But how can I live this way? I'm a freak, a chocolate freak. Easy now, Mac said. Calm down. People will be looking, staring at me. How can I live with people staring at me? Mac chuckled softly. He looked away from Henry. How would you like it, Mac, if people stared at you? You know, kid, I've had some experience in that line myself, the big man said quietly. You mean people stare at you? Uh-huh, Mac said. When you're black and most other people are white, that's bound to happen. Gee, Mac, Henry said, I'm sorry. Oh, it's nothing personal, kid. Besides, by the time I was your age, I had gotten over it. But you know, getting stared at and some other things got me thinking. If there's so many white people and so few black people, why, that makes me kind of unique. You mean special? Exactly right. So all that staring and stuff, what it did was make me proud. You know, black is beautiful. That's okay for you, said Henry, but white with big brown spots all over is ugly. Mac put his hand to his mouth and coughed. For a moment, Henry thought he might be laughing. Okay, youngster, he said, have it your own way. Just tell me, where are you going? What do you figure on doing? I'm just running away, Mac, and I don't know what I'm doing. Mac thought about that for a second and a half. Just flat out running away, huh? Things got too much for you, so you cut out? Brilliant. I won't go back, Henry said. I just won't. Okay then, don't go back. But let me ask you something. You got a mother? Yes. A father? Yes. They been good to you? Yes. They don't beat you up? Of course not. They don't make your life miserable? No. So you've got pretty good parents, right? Right. And you love them because they're so kind and good, right? Yes. Well, how do you think they feel right now? Wondering where you could be. Are you all right? Are you dead, maybe? Yes, sir. You sure are treating them mean. Why, it wouldn't surprise me if your mother was crying her heart out right now, just sick to death with worry about you. But, Mac... Now, you hush until I'm finished with what I've got to say. A good child respects his parents, yes. And a good child doesn't cause his parents heartache or grief or worry. No, sir. Henry didn't say anything, but he was listening very carefully. Now, here's my plan, kid. First thing we got to do is drive down this road till we find a telephone. Then we're going to call your folks so they can stop worrying. I'm not going back to that hospital, Henry said firmly. We'll tell your folks, too. Maybe there's someplace else you can go. Some other doctor who can take care of you. I like that idea, Henry said. Who knows, Mac continued. Maybe this chocolate fever of yours will go away. Maybe you'll just wake up tomorrow and it'll all be cured. I hope so, said Henry, but I don't think so. Anyway, the first thing we got to do is call your folks, okay? Henry smiled. There was something about the way Mac spoke that made him feel better. How about it, Mac said. Should we go find that telephone? What are we waiting for, Henry said. That's the end of the chapter. And chapter 9 is called Hijacked. And we'll read that tomorrow. Bye.